Hello and welcome back. Another Thursday, another Facebook Live talk. And it's a great pleasure to have Isadora and Mauricio with me. They're great cachaça experts and looking forward to a great talk about cachaça with you. How are you today?
Great.
Fine, thank you. It's nice to be here to talk with you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here to talk about cachaça and be invited for this from you is a really an honor for us.
Oh no,
Thank you
come
very
on. It's an honor having you here. You're two stars in the cachaça scene and you're doing quite a lot. May I ask you, first of all, to introduce yourself to our German languaged people?
Okay. I'm Isadora. I'm working with cachaça for 10 years, about 10 years already. And my main work means being in restaurants and bars, helping bartenders and also sommeliers to serve and develop our Brazilian products, not only especially cachaça, but mainly cachaça with other ingredients and make it more commercial. I've been working with a lot of chefs in Brazil, in many parts of Brazil, and also in Caribbean.
So I'm Mauricio Maia. I am the Global Cachaça Ambassador. I'm also ambassador for Spirit Selection in Brazil. I'm a columnist about cachaça and a teacher. I'm working to spread the word about cachaça for almost more than 20 years, and I'm still on the track, and I know that I'm still have a lot to do.
Keep speaking.
Keep speaking.
Keep going and keep speaking and spread the word. So in a way we all do about the same, teaching, speaking to people, training them. I saw you've been very, very busy during lockdown. You did quite a lot of talks. Even I saw something with coffee. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you did?
Cachaça is, we are like, of course, inclined to say this, but cachaça is really different between them. So you have many types of cachaça. It's not something like rum, anejo, that you can put in a bottle, in a box. Say this kind of flavor, you're gonna find it. Cachaça has its own particularities in flavor and wood or not. So it's easy, but also challenging to mix. And connect with coffee is something really interesting because you have all the pairing, the perfect pairing. You both have acidity, both have sweetness, both have some kind of bitterness. So you can manage this behavior happening in the mouth beautifully. And we have here the Father's Day, and it was a gift that we suggest people have it at home, doing a caipirinha with coffee, amazing coffee, by the way. And the funny part is that also sugarcane and coffee, Brazil is the first one producers.
Yeah, we have two traditional things in Brazil: cachaça and coffee. And here now it's a huge movement of the specialty coffees. And then we have a special cachaça, and now we mix it with specialty coffees.
We also did some lives with Ivy from Legenda. We helped her in the cachaça part in her book, and also did a lot of lives talking about cachaça for companies and also for people, and in the between
a
few classes, and did a special about concourse, spirit concourse.
Okay. Okay, so this sounds quite amazing, and it seems you're almost like a cachaça sommelier. Is that right?
Yes,
yes,
it is.
Is there an official training to become a cachaça sommelier, or?
All the sommeliers are specialized in something. You have beer sommelier, you have wine sommelier, you have water sommelier. We are specialized in spirits. And especially focused in cachaça, because cachaça is not easy. That's our main job here in Brazil, make Brazilian understand cachaça and understand that personality is not always a mistake. It's difficult and challenging to mix it, but when you have it, the mixing rightly, it's beautiful. You have a lot of feelings in your mouth. You have a lot of steps of develop. And that's our job: drink
Yeah,
and make people drink.
because cachaça has too many different flavor profiles that it's difficult to just tell one and have all the cachaça explained.
Yes.
We have a lot of brands, a lot of producers, and each one has its own singularity. And because
Okay.
it's too rich and too different.
Cachaça is different in many ways from many other spirits, because as pisco in Peru is also single
Just
distill,
one distilled.
and you pisco may not pass in the wood, but cachaça does. So you have a lot of different styles, and you have blends between woods. In Brazil, we don't blend ages or kind of malts. We blend woods in the same,
Mhm.
normally in the same distillery, and this brings a lot of difference. Some people here in Brazil also are having grabbing a cachaça in the first wood and put in another wood,
Mhm.
so it
Mhm.
brings a different development from the to the liquid. So here we are a lot of creative, and we don't have how can I say, a law that obliges us to have
One
one
wood
wood or
or
two
two.
or age or kind of size.
Mhm.
We are really free to do whatever we want, but in the aging step. But because of it, it's difficult to explain cachaça. We have more
Okay.
than 36 woods to wait.
So before we jump right into that universe of cachaça, let's go back a little bit in time. How
Okay.
Okay.
did you both get into the whole thing? When was the point you decided cachaça?
Mm.
And how
Early,
did you get into?
very early,
Young.
young. I, I have a part of a family tradition because my family, I grew up in a region in the countryside of São Paulo that it's a traditional producer of cachaça. There are many, many, many distilleries. And I always had the habit, my family always drink cachaça. And when I was young in the high school, I want to drink cachaça, and my friends look, oh man, you drink cachaça? Cachaça is not good. And I start to study to explain then that cachaça was really good.
Mhm.
And so it's an endless path, as an endless journey.
And this behavior of spreading the word of cachaça, he was the first blog of that subject in the world. And since then, he's been spreading this for
This
many
one,
people.
yeah.
I have the connection with cachaça with my father. My father loves to drink and eat well. So when I really was young, he realized that I really going to found some kind of beverage soon. So he put a lot of beverage in the table and said, let's try and deal right with the beverage. And I tried vodka, whiskey, beer, liqueurs, and cachaça. And
Mhm.
cachaça for me has a kind of more a develop more a sexy develop in the mouth. You have many layers to feel, and after you swallow, it becomes something else. So cachaça got my heart in that time, and I always was the cachaceira for all my friends. Even though before I worked with this, I did university and also uh, PhD, and always in marketing, always the cachaceira, the people, the one that drinks always cachaça. And in Brazil, it's not a good name, but
Yeah.
I always said I'm a cachaceira with proud, so I'm
Okay.
proudly cachaceira. And hi Simon, hi. And then well, I gave up for publicity work and start only work with this. But to start, I work as a
Waitress.
waitress
Waitress?
in a bar that sold cachaça, sells cachaça a lot. And then I developed my jobs in 10 years working focused in beverage and develop the Brazilian ingredients.
Okay, I see. So you learned it both from the scratch and had a little bit in the cradle.
Yeah, because another thing here in Brazil, there are not so many publications, not so many books written about cachaça, and so to understand cachaça, I started to try to understand all the spirits.
Yeah.
And try to compare what are the difference, what we are doing right, what we can do better,
Yes.
and learn with the other categories how to improve cachaça also. And so, as Isadora said, I started my blog about 16 years ago. And so it was, I kept
the pioneer.
I kept an information from all parts and put all together to talk about cachaça, and this was so disruptive in the time because there was nobody doing this, and it was the beginning of the blogs. I started doing it in the notepad.
Okay, so that has quite been an early stage. I mean, we all know, we all think we know what cachaça is, but extending it to you, the expert. Stupid and simple question. What is cachaça and what we are missing in Europe?
Okay, let's begin to say that we have, as all the beverages, we have industrial one and artisanal one. Cachaça, we have many. The main parts of producers are artisanal, or we say that they use alembic copper pot stills to distill. Okay, but all the volume are made mainly by the industrial cachaça.
In stainless column stills, huge stainless column stills.
Around 92% are pot stills, and 8% of producers are industrial, more or less. But we have 70% of the producing made
the volume
made by industry. So we only drink the 30% left. But cachaça is made from fresh sugarcane juice, exclusively in Brazil, and must have 38 to 48% of alcohol. And you must not have any kind of additional ingredients inside. You can't put fruit, you can't put honey, you can't put anything. You may do a mixed beverage with cachaça, but it's not cachaça anymore. The only thing is allowed is barrels. You can use barrels as many as you wish, as how long as you wish, whatever you wish. You can do it, but you can't put anything inside. We have one cachaça that was aged in Pedro Jimenez barrel, so it offered a lot of sugar to the cachaça. And in the chemical analysis, it was higher than allowed. So it's not cachaça, just because the sugar, it was in the barrel and got in the cachaça, and it's not any more cachaça. It's a different beverage.
Okay, so it's a sugarcane spirit, or?
Yes, we can say this is a sugarcane spirit, aguardente, but it's not a cachaça. Cachaça is a category of aguardente.
It's I cannot be wrong. They must write in the label that is sweetened aguardiente.
Oh, I see. That's quite a discussion going on here, how to go forward with rum that is sweetened and how to declare it. So that could be a good thing. Whenever I'm approached here and we have courses, people know it's a cocktail ingredient. And then when we talk further, mostly they come back to me and refer, well, so it's a kind like rhum agricole, but not made in the French, but in Brazil. And I think that's that.
There is some kind of production difference, and normally rhum agricole is a quite more huff and harsh than cachaça.
Yes.
Cachaça is very mild, very soft to drink.
Those,
Um,
those
Silky.
30%.
yeah,
Yes, but it's is there's a logic about the proof. We can talk about
yeah.
this later.
And cachaça, we are working in order, Jimmy,
Jimmy!
in order to make it, how can I say, origin denomination.
Yes.
Because in Brazil, it's cachaça is just the spirit distilled and bottled in Brazil. And there are almost 6 or 7 countries that already recognize it. United States,
Mexico,
Chile, Mexico, I think Argentina, China, and more one or two.
Alemania, German.
German, I
No?
think not yet. We are
Okay.
No, I
still.
don't think so. I mean, if it's not only Germany, then it would be the whole European Union. And I
Yes.
think it's not yet. So
But
hopefully soon.
one funny thing about cachaça, the law of cachaça is really, really, really young. It's from 2002. So we already have cachaça,
For more than 500 years
or not, but we still we took a long time to bring it as a law.
to establish a pattern, a quality control, everything. Because until then, anybody can produce the way they want. We didn't had a
A guide.
quality, a guideline, a quality guideline to follow. And
And the cachaça was the name that was chosen by to give it this regulation. But we have
Mhm.
many names. We have more than 2,000 names for cachaça.
Wow.
Many, many, many.
yeah,
Yes. Yes, in the middle of the prohibition of cachaça in Brazil, around the 17th century, people used to ask cachaça by, could you give me a white coffee? Because the white coffee comes in the cup of coffee, of course, without the spoon, and they was drinking cachaça. They were drinking cachaça. So we
I'll,
have
I'll,
a lot of names developed from this prohibition and nicknames from honey. I love to call this caninha, little sugar cane.
little sugar cane.
okay.
So we have many nicknames, but cachaça is the official one.
But
It's
it
difficult.
seems the nicknames seem to be quite nice as well. So
Yes,
Caninha.
yes.
White coffee, caninha, Todd, uh,
Um,
frog pea.
wifey,
Frog pea is also
Mhm,
one.
mhm.
So we have a lot of names.
snake venom.
It's like Venom.
Well, I think that is not only for cachaça.
Oh
It
yeah,
also
yeah.
has
Yes,
Quite
quite some
quite
spirit
sure that
with
is
everything. So,
um,
oh,
Christian.
hi. Oh, I miss you so much, guys. And then cachaça, especially this. But when you analyze the historical part of cachaça, we are talking in the 1600, in the 16th century, when the Brazil was discovered. The Portuguese came here and started to produce a lot of sugar. Sugar was like gold in that time,
Yeah,
even
absolutely, absolutely.
even expensive, more expensive
than
than
gold.
gold. And people say that cachaça was created in this time, in the beginning. We have some doubts about it.
Yeah, they know how to do it, but they didn't practice this because they will use the raw material for the
Mhm.
sugar to do an spirit that were not valorized
Not as
Yeah,
much.
as
they would
sugar.
have a lot more money for the sugar than for the
Yes,
Yes.
spirit.
So is that deduction? We work a lot of with documents and we deduct the history. So of course they didn't do the cachaça in the 16th century, but after the Dutch was they were occupying the main part of sugar cane producer in Brazil, the Northeast. They were like expelled from the Portuguese and they went to Caribbean. to, to Caribbean part, and they start to do the same thing they did here. What
Okay.
is sugar and rum?
And rum.
So it means you're the origin of the whole thing.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Ah,
But
now I
this
get it. Now I get it.
is logical. It's logical. You
It
can
is.
see that they start to produce after they produce it here, and what we produced here was not cachaça at this time.
Yeah, and then when they leave Brazil and go to the Caribbean, they keep doing the same thing they did here.
I see. So this is the missing link because
Yes.
nowadays mostly people say, "Oh yeah, cachaça. It's a little bit like rum," but
Yeah.
this would be proof that cachaça was before rum.
Yes, but no, that's the
Yes
point.
and no. Yes and no.
Yes and no. We start everything in Brazil, and one thing that we don't have many documents to research. We just have some foreigner people that wrote something, then we connect everything. But we know that if they produce some kind of sugarcane, was just to handle with sugarcane spirits, was just fresh, just to handle with the harvest that was left over, just for this. Nothing really. The rum was the main thing that they produced here, but we know for sure that they mostly produced sugar and rum.
So since there is such a close relationship with those twos, um, one question always been arise during tastings and courses is cachaça rum? And commonly I refer to saying, well, if they wanted to be rum, they would have called it rum, but they went and called it cachaça. So
Yes,
is it a rum or is it something different?
is a sugarcane spirits.
Okay.
Okay, so in the same category.
They are parents.
They are parents. As Arak is in the same category, sugarcane spirit.
Yes, of course.
But
Yeah.
it's not the same thing. You have
The aguardiente from Colombia, it's also from sugarcane,
sugarcane.
but had its
Difference.
difference. And I think the most difference between cachaça and rum, it's that cachaça, it's single distilled in mostly of the time from the fresh sugarcane juice and made it in Brazil. And
So
rum
with single distillation, you mean on a pot still, single
and a
distillation?
copper pot still, yeah.
Yes.
Not continuous, but one single distillation on a copper pot still.
Yes.
So the alcohol volume you reach is not very high.
It's
52, 53
And
at the
then
most.
and then
Okay.
it's go to a barrel or to a stainless steel to rest and develop the aromas better. This is a white one that we are drinking. It's really clear. Don't have any kind of wood here. We have some woods that doesn't bring any kind of color, but this one is really clean, really sugarcane and flour. We drink a lot of white cachaça because we love to feel the raw material, the fermentation, the how can I say, the naked cachaça.
Okay.
We love woods also. We
Yeah.
research woods for 3 years already in many applications, inclusive the fermentation. But the wood bring different kind of flavors, develop different the cachaça, and bring other layers, interesting also, but other layers that hide a little bit the freshness and the sugar cane. This proof of 38 from 248 for me is really pleasant to drink. You don't have some kind of rushness and how can I say roughness, and doesn't hurt you. Not that I don't like proof. I love proof. I'm really found to aguardentes. We have here 54% one. I love this, but it doesn't taste like agricole. It's completely different. It's completely different. It's flowered. It's completely different.
Flourish and sweet, but not sugar sweetened. It's the sweetness from the sugar cane, not from the sugar.
It's a green sweetness.
Yeah, it's a fresh sweetness.
But I have to second Dimi. There are some of the cachaças I tasted before that go towards agricole. So is that more the way you don't want to, or?
Yeah.
Actually, is the high volume producer, so you cannot expect they have the same quality the low volume producers. Even though together the low volume producers produce a lot, the industry produce a lot more and also have a lot of people to export and also spread this to whole world and charge really expensive for this. Here, 151 cost around 10 reais.
It's about $2.
$2.
Okay.
This cachaça here around $40, 40 reais.
$10.
$10. It's really cheap to have a good cachaça here. But the industry make difficult some kind of products.
Yeah, where we have a gap in the marketing, in the production techniques, because we don't have in Brazil a good cachaça made in column stainless steels. You can do it, but it will not be cheap. And so for it not to be cheap, they prefer to produce small volumes in copper pot steels and leave the column stainless steel to produce high volumes and cheap cachaça.
The main thing about cachaça and the pot still is that once you distill, you do the single distill, you keep all the raw material and also the fermentation aromas. And this is really desirable in the cachaça. Even the ones that they are stored in some kind of woods. You must have this. Cachaça, chemically speaking, must have at least 250 congeners.
Grams ppm.
ppm.
Yep. Yeah.
The rum, the gin and the vodka say in the maximum 50.
Yep.
So we are talking. Normally they have 500 of informations. It's difficult to have this. And normally, even for Brazilian, it's difficult to understand this. The industry process broke a lot of information that are familiar, like the sweetness, the flour things. I'm not against the industry process. I know that's important, but we know also that the process, the traditional process, offer a very good tasting and a deeper experimentation.
I see. So over here, mostly when you say cachaça, it's about cocktails. How do you drink quality cachaça in Brazil? Is it drank neat like you do, or what's the best way to enjoy quality cachaça?
In São Paulo, we have a lot of places that do. They have 5, 6 cocktails with cachaça, even more now because the dollar is not that cheap. So we are really looking finally to our products, and they are mixing. For example, this one is really floral, and people are making gin cocktails with this one. Mix it in the same cocktail to bring a lot of layers with freshness and more floral orientation.
Together with gin or instead?
Together with gin.
Yeah,
together. But we, as Jimmy is saying,
pure is too good.
We have a relation with a lot of bartenders, and I drink one cocktail in the bar, and then I go to neat always. Vermouth, cachaça, rum, whiskey, whatever, mezcal, tequila, whatever they have, the base. We love this.
And cachaça is good. You can have it. The bottle chilled. You can put in the refrigerator or the ice box.
If you are in a cold country, you don't need to do anything.
Yeah, you can put to drink it on the rocks.
Mm.
That's the best way. We drink it always like this because open the aroma of, as a whiskey, open the aroma of cachaça.
Okay.
Lovely.
I see. So you said you're experimenting quite a lot with wood, and
Yeah.
saying wood means it's not necessarily oak. So
Mainly
which,
not
Not
oak.
oak.
mainly not oak. I see. So which kind of? I mean, what I know is you work with a oak or with a wood called amburana,
Yes.
and I think that's very famous because it's a very special thing to have it in amburana oak wood. But what else? If you say mostly not oak, which wood do you use?
A lot of
So
ones.
we have in use more than 36 different woods, and each one, and also sure we use oak also.
Mhm.
The ex-Scotch or ex-Bourbon or new American oak barrels also, and port oak, but in the Brazilian woods are more than 36. One of them is Amburana. We have
Mhm.
also balsam wood, zebra wood,
Putumuju.
putumuju.
Putumuju, for example, brings once it's toasted, brings
Yeah.
a lot of
Strawberry.
strawberry with a kind of spiciness. It's amazing. Amburana brings a familiar taste of honey and cinnamon, but we have a lot of kind of woods that bring a lot of flavor. The caneleras that we call here, it's a category of of woods that they smell
Ariribá. Yes.
in the como é que é o tronco? Live. You don't have to toast anything. Just
Mhm.
get a
Mhm.
slice of the wood. It smells
Yeah.
something really spiciness. We have Louro Canela, Ariribá, Sassafras. They are really, really, really intense in the nose. And that's Pau Brasil, for example, is one amazing wood that gives the name of Brazil to our country.
Mm-hmm.
And the color is like
See this?
amazing, red, like wine, and tastes like ficus, a sweet ficus, and a kind of dark chocolate. It's amazing, but with a lot of bitterness and spiciness.
I think Christian is just donating a cask towards you.
We accept.
We will love it.
We will accept.
And I
If
only
it's
can tell you,
full with Cavados, we accept even better.
And we can empty it here.
Yes.
we did a whiskey here in Switzerland with two of his casks, so it was
Really?
wonderful experience as well. So I always thought amburana is a highly aromatic wood. It seems
Yes.
it's not even the highest you just told me. There are a lot of different aromas.
It's one of the most popular.
Because
Mhm.
of these familiar aromas all around the world. Everybody knows honey, everybody knows cinnamon. So
I used to say that it's Christmas aromas.
I used to
Okay.
say that Amburana is a slut of the woods. Everybody knows, everybody wanted, and then you got like bored afterwards.
I see. Okay. Phew. Talking about we talked
Just
about
joking, okay? I'm not being
no,
without
no, no,
prejudice.
that's okay. I just make a big way around that. Possibly you saw the discussion with the whiskey Bible, so that's quite rude language. Concours Mondial. We know us from Concours Mondial, and it already has been the time for Concours, and it didn't happen. It will be another try in 4 weeks. Are we going to see you here in Europe, or?
We hope so.
We don't know yet.
We are still waiting to see how the pandemic will go on in the next days, the next week, and we hope you can make it.
Okay. Well, it would be great to see you. Even I don't really know if I can make it. It's quite coming back. Seems there is in certain countries a second wave coming up. But what I saw, researched, and heard is Oh, Christian says Brussels. Yes, Christian, Brussels. Um, Sugarcane Spirits Award. You both
Oh, yes.
were one of the icons tasting for the Sugarcane Spirits Award. Is it already done, or are you just in progress, or?
No, it's in progress. I think until the end, it will be 100% online contest.
Yes.
They will sample. They will ship the samples to all the judges around the world. I think until the end of this month. And
Okay.
so the judges will have 1 month to taste about 60 samples and put the result online.
So you're not all getting the same samples, but different judges get different
Not
samples.
going the same
Yeah.
samples.
As in Brussels, but I think we are going to have different samples too. So it's kind of new. I joke that with Ian. I said, you throw COVID in China to release this kind of contest because it's not, they never thought about COVID, of course. But I joke with him, if it is impossible. You are just like the timing is perfect. Anybody need to go out home, you can taste it at home. It's safer for everybody. And I really got like, oh my god, it's like amazing how they
The
did
timing
the
were
timing.
perfect.
Absolutely. Have you been to a lot of tastings this year, or is it all going to be cancelled as everywhere else?
We did by remotely, like sending the samples and orientation by Zoom or whatever kind of virtual meeting
But
application.
public tastings. But have you been to any competitions, any
No.
local things, or?
No, we mostly have been at home. Now we
Yeah.
are having some visits in bars and restaurants, but we mostly got inside home. Six
Stay home.
months
Yeah.
at home.
Okay. In the very beginning, when we've been backstage, before going live, you showed me a beautiful bottle. Can you show me that bottle once again?
Our son, here. It's our vermouth, Brazilian vermouth.
Okay.
By law, it's not a vermouth because we do without grape wine. It's just Brazilian berry wine. A Brazilian berry called jabuticaba. It's a very large one
And black.
and black. And the color is like amazing.
But you decided to be a substitute for vermouth in mind.
Actually, we designed it to make like justice with our country because we have a lot of fruits and they handle like 3 months only, and Brazilian doesn't have a lot of habits of fermentation. So we decided to fermentate this berry and fortify it with cachaça, infuse it with woods, and also a lot of fruits, and
flowers,
herbs.
spices.
So
There
coming
are
to the herb,
11 ingredients, all
okay.
infused in cachaça.
Is there vermouth in?
Yes,
Is there wormwood in?
Yeah, because
So
in Brazilian law,
Brazilian wormwood.
no. In Brazilian law, we must use like how can I say this? Not não vinícola, não viníferas.
we used to say
In the law, the grape that they use.
table wine.
Table wine. Is that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Table wine, okay.
Yes.
By law.
By law.
You can use vitis vinifera wine to make vermouth here in Brazil.
So it's really overpassed.
And so we decided to make a wine from a Brazilian fruit that is look like a grape but tastes completely different.
With a lot of tannin. It likes have como é que é couro? A leather around. It's not a skin. It's a leather.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you bite it, it explodes in your mouth, and then you eat the poop. and normally throw the skin out. But this skin brings a lot of tannin. That's why we decided to have a host of vermouth really dry.
Dry. Yeah, it's really dry.
We decided not to put sugar and keep the dryness and the
I
tannin
I
here.
second the question of Christina. Christina says, "Where can I buy one for sampling? Is it
Sampling.
available? Is it available in Europe or is it just in
No,
Maybe
Brazil?"
in the Chilica. Maybe in Chilica.
maybe a Chilicam. It's
We
a
can
online
write.
store. Yeah, we can send, or we can ask Urik.
I bet
I,
he's
I
already drinking
I
it.
bet he don't have it anymore, but
Well, if
can
you
make it
passed
try.
one last time, I'm pretty sure he made cocktails out of it. So
Yeah,
Yes. And this website I put in the chat. Maybe you can. They send it.
they send it to Europe.
I see. Yeah, you sent a message. I will spread this afterwards. So hopefully this works.
And if someone is interested in export this, we are really found to this. It's
Well, I'm sure
completely different.
someone will listen to this and pick it up.
Yes, and also good cachaça. We are so cheap now. Really, real is not worth nothing.
Yeah,
You can
with
have an amazing cachaça for $2.
Hey, I close by. Only a few hundred kilometers.
a little, a little journey.
A little journey, a small jump over the sea. Um, what are your future plans? I mean, we literally live from day to day and can't plan a lot in the future, but any plans, any travel plans, any books?
Oh, we were with a plan in April. We are going to go to Singapore in the Provine, and then going to do a cachaça tour in Europe, in many bars, doing tasting and some kind of master class to have like spreading a lot of good cachaças that could bring a different kind of perspective to the foreigner countries. But now I think everybody was obliged to look inside and
Hmm.
see how we can do differently than we are doing before, but also spreading something globally. And the internet help us, but also I feel that we are more connected, even more with people here, and is our how can I say is our mission help people to get profit doing a great drink, a commercial drink, but with a lot of layers, doing using our spirit as some kind of propose that we have like
Mm.
move us forward. I don't know if we are going to visit any different country
And
this
So
year.
you're
and
working. Sorry.
still making classes and tasting, writing, spreading the
Researching.
word, researching.
The researching part sounds very interesting. So it sounds like you're working on the local front, and hopefully together we can spread the word with this. And if you have any more questions about quality cachaça, follow those two on Instagram. It's always great to see what they're up to. I would say thank you very much for your time. And again, we had a little bit scramble about the dates yesterday, so they've already waited yesterday. I'm so sorry for that. All originating from a typo mistake. Thanks very much for your time. It's been a pleasure seeing you, and hopefully we see us in October.
We hope to. Thank you for the invitation. It was a pleasure to spend this time here talking about cachaça, talking with you, and seeing all the family from Spirit Selection.
Absolutely, the
Together.
worldwide family of spirits. So again,
Yes.
thanks very much, and enjoy your afternoon.
It's
Thanks very
an
much.
honor. And any kind of just a highlight. I don't hate Tamburana. Okay, I love this. It's a very partner
No
of
one
mine
thought about that.
because it's a very commercial flavor. You can offer this to people that doesn't drink cachaça and make it
And make it
them.
as a good start.
So
Okay,
I say like this to make people laugh and also get involved about this. Okay.
absolutely. Thanks very much. We see you backstage, and thanks very much for watching and
Thank
listening.
you.
It's been a pleasure. Bye bye,
Thank you,
everybody.
Thank you.
everybody here. Thank you for the
Bye bye,
questions.
everybody. Keep safe.
I